Beloved, come on in, come on in, come on in. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women just like you and our brothers. I should say the network for melanated people just like you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our broadcast today, The Vicki Show. We're typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. And we're so grateful that you have joined us today. I certainly missed you on yesterday, and I won't even get into the details of the what's what, but I'm glad to be with you right now. And thank you so much for joining us, dear family. Let me see if we can get this together right here. This other device. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get ready to get into our discussion today on Breonna Taylor. Our discussion today on the grand jury's decision to, in effect, really allow every single one of her killers, all of the cops that were involved in her murder, to walk. I'll explain what I mean by that here in just a moment. Shout out to my Instagram family, Instagram. Come on over to FlyNubianQueenTV.com when you see this broadcast, when you see this picture. I'm just inviting my Instagram family to come on over. Just a little bit of housekeeping as you come in. Please come in giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like. Be sure to share. I want you to know that you can text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. We also have a store where you can get all kinds of apparel at shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. And I want to let you know that we are looking for more Fly Nubian Queens. You can reach us at producer@flynubianmedia.com if you're interested. That's producer@flynubianmedia.com. We look forward to hearing from you. I personally believe in the diversification and elevation of the woman's voice, especially at such a time like this. And so we want to invite you to come on over if you think that that's something that you're interested in, and reach out to us. There are a lot of new changes going on and different queens that you all are seeing here, which is one of the reasons why I always ask that you hit the notification bell to receive all notifications, not only so that you can watch the Vicki Show weekdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, but also the other queens that are a part of this network on this platform, FlyNubianQueenTV.com, as well as the one on Facebook at FlyNubianQueen.com, and our affiliates. So we want to invite you to connect with us. Again, my name is Vicki Dillard, and you can follow me on Instagram at VickiXDillard, and you can follow me on my Facebook fan page at Vicki Dillard. Thank you so very much for joining us. Let's get ready to get right on into our subject today. And I missed you all as well. Shout out to you, Naturally Tura, for your gift. She says, I missed you back. I'm saying she, but Naturally Tura says, I missed you too, beloved. And Naturally Tura, I thank you for your kind words as well. I posted your kind words on my Instagram, on my Twitter page, and I'll be posting it elsewhere as well. So I want you to know, I know that you appreciate me, and I appreciate you and your kind words. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thumbs up, family. Be sure to like, be sure to share. That's very important because it helps to draw other folk into the broadcast. Okay, now that we've done our housekeeping, we're still in holy uprising. It has not stopped. We are still in holy uprising. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the past several months, high-profile Black murders that have been captured, and thankfully, we've seen Black resistance to white supremacy and oppression and persecution, and Black genocide, Black terror, by the number one and most pernicious and deadly terrorist on the planet. That's according to your U.S. government under Donald Trump, the white supremacist. giving you receipts after receipts after receipts. And the um, FBI director, Christopher Wray, I think he just testified again recently after previously testifying to the concerns of white supremacists. He's recently testified again about the number one threat, the number one terrorist is the white supremacist. Thank you for your love, Instagram. I see you. Listen. So we're still in holy uprising, HU 2020. Please hashtag that, HU 2020. Been saying it for a long time. I have. I've been saying it a long time because of the pattern, because of the verbiage of our elders and ancestors from the 20th century, due to the formidable and powerful Black resistance to white supremacy that they talk very little about. But we do hear often on the Vicky Show, where I tell you of the extraordinary damage that primarily Black men, mostly, and some Black women dealt America. Dozens and dozens and dozens of lives lost, hundreds of millions of dollars in damage, thousands arrested, and hundreds of millions of dollars, I think I mentioned that just a minute ago, from the Detroit uprisings and holy rebellions, Watts riots, uprisings, and holy rebellions, and the over 100 cities that went up in flames in the late 60s after the United States government murdered Dr. King. But before Dr. King was murdered, the goings down was going down. I'm going to say that again. Before Dr. King's assassination, before the United States of America killed him, before the United States government murdered Dr. Martin Luther King, she was experiencing Black resistance without the same type of weaponry. I've given you information and insight that because of the extraordinary blow that primarily Black men dealt America without having the same type of weapons at their disposal, America engaged in new forms of anti-Black murder using science. In multiple ways. They were trying to destroy the number one threat and the number one weapon against white supremacy. What is that? The big Black brain. Because you, being in your right mind, not high all day, not drunk all day, not terrorized, mentally. Shout out to you, Wendy, for your $75 gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. The other beloved one that gave the $19.99 and the $50 gifts, I bless all of your gifts 1,000-fold. Thank you so much for supporting Black media. When you are in your right mind, you can outthink your way out of anything. When you are in your right mind, you can build anything. You can plan anything. You can create anything. Somebody talk Black to me. So I want to say shout out again to those of you that are resisting oppression, you know, and I'm very clear about this on the Vicky Show. Shout out to my sister, Sonia S. on Instagram. That's my sister right there that held me down in the belly of the beast. She was a defender and a protector of mine. So shout out to my sister on Instagram. Y'all don't know nothing about that kind of warfare right now. Some of you don't. She was a stranger to me at the time, but God used her in a mighty way to shut down even funny looking enemies inside the belly of the beast. Somebody talk Black to me. Listen, thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Instagram, I want you to get ready to come on over to flynubianqueentv.com because I need to use this device. Come on over to flynubianqueentv.com. Thank you so very much. I don't promote you being reckless or violating or being the aggressor. But there is a universal and a higher law that every human being must submit to, the righteous law. That if the life that the God and the Creator gave you is under threat, the gift of breath, of life, of being, of isness, of amness is being taken and threatened by a terrorist unjustly. Your gift back to that Creator is to defend it with your very life. Somebody talk black to me. You all know very well, again, that I'm somebody that does not believe in being reckless and that always encourages my people to be righteous in their actions. But we're talking about lawbreakers. We're talking about people that unjustly take our lives. We're talking about that man of sin, that man of lawlessness that the scriptures in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3 says, that man of lawlessness. It is a holy thing because I call them holy uprisings. It's a holy thing. It's a God thing. It's a spiritual thing. When you resist oppression and injustice. Oh, we're holding court today. Instagram, I'll see you on flynubianqueentv.com. Come on over Instagram to flynubianqueentv.com. Thank you so very much. All right, dear family. While I post this, dear family, on the count of three, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button so we can get into the story. And please like, share, and subscribe on the count of three. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you so much, beloved, for joining the Vicky Show right here on flynubianqueentv.com. The network for melanated people just like you. If you're watching us on one of our other affiliate channels, please like, share, and follow. Would you do that? If you're watching us on one of our affiliate channels, please like, share, and follow. Thank you so very much, beloved. Awesome. All right. So that's done. Thank you so much for your patience on that. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Now, listen, I want you to know really quick to make this announcement because I missed you all on yesterday, but no need. Other folk were able to hold it down on flynubianqueentv.com. There are other queens on the network. So thank you all so much for supporting those as we've been discussing. I've been discussing for some time now. But I want to get into this because I told you yesterday, actually, I wanted to talk about the Breonna Taylor. I've been waiting for the last couple of days for the decision. They delayed it initially. And so they finally went on ahead and announced it yesterday that Attorney General, Mr. Cameron, let's talk about it in just a second. But this holy uprising season, it was something else that I wanted to say. It'll come back to me in a minute. This holy uprising season, there's a unique energy, a spirit, dear family, that has been unleashed into the atmosphere. You can feel it. It's very palpable. It's different. How many of you all know what I'm talking about? And for some reason, I don't know why my screen, I can't see the comments all of a sudden now. Looks like it's stalled on here, but I'm going to keep going. Listen. So an energy has been unleashed. And it's not by accident that on top of everything that's going on as it is, there's an unsettling energy. There's an agitating spirit. This is how I would describe it. There's a hopelessness. There's a desperation that's escalated. It's amplified and it's gained new energy. Along with this agitating, unsettling, and fearful energy that's released, that fearful energy that's released is meant to make you do something spontaneous and reckless with your power. It's meant to put you out of your mind. It's meant to overwhelm you in such a way so that you're easily controlled. I hope you're hearing me. It feels like right now that it's difficult to get one's bearings. Are you hearing me? It feels like you're unable to get your bearings right now. Makes you feel like that you're almost out of your mind. It's unsettling and it's difficult to really hold on. A heaviness. And how many of you all know that when you feel heavy, when there's a drudgery, when you feel fatigued, when you feel overwhelmed, the mere suggestion of something, you'll just give in to the thing. It's difficult to be strategic and intelligent with your moves. Are y'all hearing me today? Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. I trust that you're doing that, even though I'm having some tech issues right now. I can't see your comments now all of a sudden, but I'm going to keep going. Thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. I'm so pleased that you have joined us today. I did miss you all, but I thank you all so much that you didn't miss a beat. There's a lot of different things that are going on, but I thank you for your connection. I remember now what I wanted to say. I wanted to say that I missed yesterday, but I also missed my mastermind students. I want you to know that I'm doing a makeup mastermind tomorrow on clubvicky.com. So you know I'm very consistent about meeting with you live every single week. So as a makeup, I want to meet you tomorrow. And even if you happen to miss tomorrow, you're not available. You all know, those of you that have access to clubvicky.com, you will have access to the mastermind tomorrow, even though you may not be there live. Okay. So don't you worry. I got you. I love you. People that make that additional investment, that modest monthly investment, you know, when you sow to the spirit, you reap of the spirit. And I know that what I talk about is powerful because it didn't come from me. God today. And the signs and wonders, the testimonials, the fruit speaks for themselves. Vicky don't need to brag and pat herself on the back, but I am confident in what I share with you because it does not come from me. Somebody talk black to me. I am a vessel. And I know that people's lives have been changed. So thank you so much. If you're interested in that, join. Now I think it's still a entry rate of $1 for the first month at clubvicky.com. You can't beat that. Clubvicky.com. Now let's get on with it. Okay. Thank you so much for your patience. Again, I just wanted to make that announcement to my clubvicky.com members that I've got you tomorrow. Okay. Thank you so very much. Now, the article. I want to read to you today, first of all, let's see if I can get it together, from the Washington Post. This first piece is about what happened with one of Breonna Taylor's killers, one of the ones that are responsible for our dear sister's murder. Let's be very clear. Are y'all hearing me today? This first piece is from the Washington Post. Now listen to this. Here's the latest. Officer Brett Hankinson charged with wanton endangerment. 2 officers shot during protests. This is the latest from the Washington Post. Now, I posted today on my Instagram page this right here. I posted this today. And by the way, again, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Do y'all see that? This is a different phone too that I'm using. Let me try to clear this a bit. Even though, okay, can you all see this? Pretty good. This is what I posted today on Instagram. And so this that I posted on Instagram, I put on there 2 cops shot after Breonna Taylor's killers walked. Now, these 2 fellows, they did not get, these 2 race soldiers, they did not get an indictment. They weren't indicted at all. But functionally, technically, every single one of her killers, those that were responsible for her murder and her death, none of them are really being held accountable. None of them are really getting punishment. And you know that I'm going to prove it very quickly here in no limit of time. I'll explain what I mean by that here in just a moment. So this Washington Post piece that I'm reading to you now is fascinating. Officer Brett Hankinson charged with wanton endangerment. A grand jury in Jefferson County, Kentucky has indicted a former Louisville police detective on 3 charges of wanton endangerment. One attorney, a black attorney, also pronounced it as wanton endangerment. In the first degree in March 13th, in the March 13th shooting that resulted in the death of 26-year-old Breonna Taylor. Brett Hankinson, one of 3 officers involved, was fired by the department in June with a termination letter saying he wantonly and blindly shot 10 times into Taylor's apartment. He is accused of endangering lives in a neighboring unit after firing rounds. Taylor's name became a rallying cry for policing, overhauls, and racial justice as the Black Lives Matter movement swept the United States this summer. On Wednesday evening, 2 officers were shot. We're going to get to that in a minute. These other 2 officers. So in response to that, after that announcement, it goes on to talk about 2 officers who were shot following the indictment. And I want to tell you my thoughts on that in just a minute. But back to this race soldier, the one that they got on wanton, again, a black attorney, a doctor attorney pronounced it as wanton endangerment, even though most of us pronounce it as wanton endangerment. This is for the Brett Hankinson, one of 3 officers involved. What you need to know, dear family, and let's just make sure that we're always keeping up, always have before us the picture of these white supremacist killers. Here is his mugshot. That's Brett Hankinson. But I want us to make sure that we never forget the faces of her other co-conspirators, those other 2 that are responsible for her murder. Those other 2 white supremacist race soldiers, those other 2 terrorists. Keep their images before you as well. That's very, very important. Now, what I want you to know about this situation, once again, during this holy uprising, is that now they want all of us to take our attention off of those pictures and off of those individuals. And they now want us to start to focus and be concerned about a black man who they alleged shot two police officers. They have a brother right now in custody. Now listen to what they say about that. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. I apologize. I cannot see any comments. Now all of a sudden it won't let me see anything on my screen, but I'm going to keep going. But I just trust that as you come in, you're giving us a thumbs up, that you're liking, that you're sharing. And then be sure at the bottom of your screen that you're able to share the link out to your social media folk to let them know that the Vicky Show is on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. Thank you so very much. It's important that you do that because you help to elevate our voices. Now listen, before I say that, I want to go back to what I just briefly said a minute ago about this spirit that has been unleashed. This spirit, as we mentioned before, this unsettling, agitating spirit of heaviness that has been unleashed and released into the environment. It's very palpable. You can feel it. I don't care if you don't use spiritual and metaphysical religious language and you think that, things that are just logical are the only thing that matters at all. When you're more black family, you're more than what meets the eye. But I'm here to tell you that that's a part of what's going on, and it's warfare that's been unleashed in the unseen realms. It's meant to make you relent, and it's meant to make you act and behave in a way. It compels you to give up your power and to do something silly and foolishness. It puts you in a state to where you're desperate and you'll just do anything. You'll take any advice. You'll vote with no reparations. People that vote with no reparations, people that vote without tangibles, is a people that's out of their minds. Somebody talk black to me. What I want to tell you is to hold on to your sanctified mind, no matter how difficult it may be, dear family. I'm telling you to hold the line. I'm telling you not to give up. I'm telling you not to give in. Even if for a moment you retreat, but don't relent and don't do anything stupid right now is all I'm telling you to do. I'm saying that a spirit of chaos has been unleashed. And when things are chaotic, that means it doesn't have an order or a flow to it. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's a part of the turbulence that we're experiencing temporarily while we're on our way to freedom, justice, and equality. So hold on. And I want you to prepare to ride this chaos, to tame this chaos until we bring order to it. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be difficult. But sisters, take your bubble bath. Do your little nails and stuff. Get your little flowers. Get you something good and sweet and juicy to eat. Brothers, work out. Take care of yourself. And then regroup. Pray together. Unify. Do whatever you need to do. Go for a walk. Go for a ride. But I'm telling you, the chaos that has been unleashed, you getting ready to master this thing. This chaos that's been unleashed is like an untamed horse that you're getting ready to tame. You're getting ready to train and to bring order to this chaos. Don't do anything stupid right now is the first thing I want to tell you. When you don't know what to do, don't do nothing. When you're scared, be still. I hope you're hearing me. I hope you're hearing me. thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Again, don't forget, we're looking for new Fly Nubian queens. Reach out to us at producer@flynubianmedia.com. Reach out to us at flynubianmedia.com. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. Thank you so very much. Now let's get back to this piece. Let me get back to this piece. Watch this. On Wednesday evening, 2 officers were shot following the indictment, and a suspect is in custody, authorities said. The shooting occurred about 8:30 p.m. as officers responded to shots fired in a large crowd. One officer is alert, said the interim police chief, while another is undergoing surgery. That's some of the latest that we've been given. Now, let me speak to that real quick. Before somebody comes with something crazy to say right now. Dear family, I don't need to teach you that we're at war, but I have to keep saying it like that. So because you guys feel like that, because white America and white supremacists hasn't officially announced that we're at war, black family, you don't want to call it that because your white slave masters don't call it that. But you're at war. Excuse me, I had to get this hair out of my lipstick. So because a white man, because your open enemy doesn't officially call it war, you don't want to call it that. Watch this. We're at war. And we're very aware that the major enforcement arm of white supremacy is often carried out by white military folk or white law enforcement or some white vigilante. Is that right, family? These are what you call white supremacist soldiers. Because of the trauma, because of 500 years of injustice that we've experienced, unlike anybody else, for longer than anybody else. Don't let them try to make anybody else's suffering like ours. The Black Holocaust outdoes them all. And for anybody that says stuff like, we're not in a race amongst each other in terms of who's experienced the most persecution or who's experienced the most oppression. People that say stuff like that, tell them to shut up. You got to be out of your mind. Black folks, you better scream that from the mountaintop, that we've experienced more inhumane treatment, the most oppression without being repaired for longer than anybody else. You better make it a race. In fact, it's not a race. That it really technically is true. Our suffering doesn't even come close, and you better not let anybody forget it. Did you hear what I just said? Don't you let anybody tell you not to make a big deal of your suffering, and we shouldn't be, trying to say that our suffering outdid everybody else's. Our suffering outdid everybody else's. They don't want you to say that because they're trying to escape responsibility, and they're also trying to escape punishment, and they're trying to escape the responsibility to repair us. They're okay to acknowledge in some obscure way that racism and injustice exists, but they do not want to do anything about it. And we are demanding that something be done. The reason why I always talk about what we've experienced and are still experiencing, and that nobody else's oppression comes close to ours, is because, like any good lawyer, they want you to talk about pain and suffering. God, today, y'all know I'm holding court. this is how you get damages. But you look like not talking about it, slowness. This is our evidence that we're going to always keep before the world. Are y'all hearing me today? Now that I've put that out there, let me get back to this piece. I hope you keep liking and sharing, family. Like and share. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. You can follow me again on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard, and you can check out our business school at flynubianbusiness.com so that you can learn how to build your own business, learning from Black business owners that are your teachers there at our school, at our business school. So you want to reach out to us at flynubianbusiness.com. If you want to learn about money, investing in that kind of thing, you can go to flynubianmoney.com. Get back to the piece, Vicki. Watch this, watch this, watch this. It goes on to say that on Wednesday, about the 2 officers were shot following the indictment, and a suspect is in custody. They said the brother's name, and they showed his picture, who they're saying allegedly killed or shot, allegedly shot 2 police officers after the indictment was read, which was really no indictment at all. They let her killers walk. And I'm going to explain the legal thing that they did, the legal trick that they did with Hankinson in just a second. What do we say to that? They want us to shift the attention off of us onto these 2 police officers. Well, this is what we're going to say. We're at war. And the foot soldiers for white supremacy are oftentimes law enforcement agents, policemen, right? And military folk. Well, because of that, because there is a war going on right now, and because so many of our people are suffering from mental illness, we just can't comment. I mean, we just can't comment right now on. It's just not enough known. We can't speak on that. We do know that in the case of Breonna Taylor, where the policemen lied in their report, are y'all hearing me? We do know police often lie. That's what they always do when they murder us, when they are the aggressors, when they do something illegal, when they're planting something on us, when they are doing whatever they do against us. We know that it's proven that they lie on their reports. They lie about incidents. They turn off the cameras. They do all kinds of stuff, right? So we just don't know enough about what happened. We haven't seen all the footage. We can't take their word for it right now. We don't know what happened. We don't know if those police officers tried to murder that individual or shoot that individual in the wake of that. We don't know if it was actually race soldiers that were the ones that were responsible for the shooting, that put some Black person out there who was out of their mind, intentionally methed them up, drugged them up. You know what I'm saying? Put them out to do something like that. We also know that these white supremacists, they've shown us now where they have these different masks that they're finding out that white folks put on. So when you see someone committing a crime or allegedly committing a crime, it looks like it's somebody Black, but in fact they've got these Black what do you call them? I forget the title on, but it's not a mask. What do you call it? It's another word for it. But anyway, but they put it on and it gives the impression that it's a Black person. It's too much that's going on. Even the person that they got in custody, we don't know enough, family, for us to even be discussing it at all. It's inappropriate, in my opinion, to even say if somebody Black did do that, if somebody did, it shouldn't be any violence. I condemn violence on both sides. It's not even enough to know for you to even say that. They lie too much. We don't know enough about the facts. So you just, no comment right now. We're waiting for all the facts to come in. We're dealing with a slick oppressor, a slick enemy that lies, that sets up things, that they do little sneaky stuff. And we're at war. So you got to be smarter than that. And if the scripture says that the devil is a lie, and when he lies, it's consistent with his character. And when he lies, it's his native language. And I've taught you that when the devil lies, everything about the devil is a lie. Their hair strands are a lie. Their sneezes are a lie. When they snore at night, it's a snore lie. Somebody talk black to me. When they're eating, it's an eating lie. Their plates are lying plates. Their forks are lying forks, lying spoons, lying cups, lying orange juice, lying ice cubes, lying fish sticks, lying wheat bread, lying supplements. The water that's coming out of the shower is a lie. The soap is a lie. The lotion is lie soap, lie lotion. When they shave, it's a lie shave. When they get on the bus, they're moving in, they getting onto a lie bus. It turns into a lie once they touch it. The bus stop they on is a lie bus stop. Their paychecks is a lie paycheck. It's too much going on, so you can't, it's too early for us to know. We're at war. You never take the word of an enemy. And you know that white media, especially CNN, how many of y'all been seeing that black Sambo they got up there that claims to be a law enforcement expert that Wolf Blitzer keeps putting up there on CNN? That's a bootlick, a bone and biscuit that keeps caping for these white supremacist officers. What's that funny looking traitor's name? And then I always remind you of this. Then what's her name? The mayor of Atlanta. I'm just forgetting all these biscuits and coons and stuff name. What's her name? Keisha Bottoms. Keisha Bottoms got up there, remember a few months ago with Killer Mike and T.I. screaming at us, not against the white supremacists, not the terrorists. She got up there screaming at us because she said she got mad that some of the protesters sprayed a little something on the CNN building. CNN, you getting this work because you all keep putting up these white supremacist sympathizers and they using these black faces to do it. We sick of y'all. And we look forward to your speedy doom, as with all of the rest. All of the media, they are race soldiers, family. You have to understand that. No, I digress. Let me get on with the rest of what I wanted to say. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Listen. So we don't know enough about that. We don't know enough about that. But because we're at war, if it's true that that particular brother did something like that, we don't know. We don't know. We just don't know. Mental illnesses, we just don't know. We don't know. We don't know. The officers probably tried to kill him or his mama, tried to put something on. We don't know. We haven't seen all the footage. We just don't know. Not enough information is in. It's just wise that we don't even comment about that. Don't even say, I will say it again. Do not say we condemn violence on both sides. There is not any proof that we can trust and that we know of yet that proves that there was violence on both sides, family. When you say stuff like we condemn violence on both sides, just the mere saying of that in a hypothetical is giving validation to our open enemy. Somebody talk black to me. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Now, what do I want to tell you about these charges? What do I want to tell you about these charges? What I want to tell you about these charges. Before I comment on the charges, let me say one more thing about this fellow this brother that they got in custody, who they claim is one suspect they got in custody, allegedly for shooting 2 police officers after the indictment was read, which was really no indictment. It proved that everybody walks, and I'm gonna prove it in a minute, legally. Again, we don't know if the brother was set up by the opposition, right? I'm suggesting that we do a couple of things, family. I want us to pray and, if possible, pay. Y'all play too much. If possible, so if you are in that area, if you are an attorney, if you are anybody legally that knows how to, that has this connection where this is taking place. Well, let me read this again before I give some instruction. In Kentucky, here is talking about after the grand jury. Let me read it again. Grand jury in Jefferson County, Kentucky, has indicted a former Louisville police officer on 3 charges of wanton endangerment in the first degree in the March 13th shooting of that resulted in the death of 26-year-old Breonna Taylor. Right? His name is Brett Hankinson. But it goes on to talk about how 2 officers were shot following the indictment. Right? Our brother, who they have locked up, for those of you that know activists in that area, for those of you that always want to do something, talking about you believe in praying, yes, pray and pay. What do you mean pay? If he gets a bail, I am suggesting that his bail be paid. The brother that they're claiming shot these 2 officers. Because we know white people lie all the time. These white supremacist race soldiers, we have proof of that. There's no speculation. I'm hoping that this brother's bail is paid. And I'm going to say this, as someone that knows about the courts all too well, I'm talking about because of my personal experience, not because I'd have been through some stupid law school. To become a liar, I mean a lawyer. To become a liar, I mean a lawyer. I'm also saying if there are activists in the area, a part of your activist work is if you find out if this situation progresses and this brother ends up having to go to trial. My prayer is that this brother pleads not guilty. And that if they manage to get 1 or 2 black folk on the jury pool, that you as an intelligent black person involved in war, as a fair-minded juror, because all of us are fair-minded jurors, aren't we? Somebody talk black to me. All of us are intelligent black people. We believe in people getting on juries that do the right thing, don't we, family? Somebody say amen. Somebody say ashe. Somebody say that's right. I'm suggesting that not only his bail be paid, but if the case and the situation progresses, I'm asking that the activists on the ground begin to educate the likely jury pool, because you all know they're going to try to white out all the jurors. But all it takes is for one righteous, somebody say righteous. I would never advocate a jurist not to do the right thing. I'm advocating the jurors to do the right thing. Somebody talk black to me. But it only takes one black juror to hold the line and to get it home. It only takes one righteous, fair-minded juror to get it home. That's what I'm suggesting. In the case of the young man that they're claiming shot those police officers, because we know how white folks lie. We know how y'all set up stuff. We know how you kill us. There's no reason for us to believe that this brother did that. We don't know all the facts. And so we understand that even in America's corrupt system, you're supposed to be presumed innocent until proven otherwise, right? So because we're going to treat this brother like he's innocent. Somebody better talk black to me. If the case progresses, we need to educate the jurors, the possible jury pool, depending on the area. We don't believe in corrupting anybody. We want to remind you that it only takes one juror to ensure that the whole thing is hung and not bulk under pressure. Somebody talk black to me. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Now that I've said that, we're talking about being fair and just and right in this war. Is that right, family? We're talking about doing what's right. Because we know a lot of the jurors that's on there, they're tainted. A lot of the jurors on there are white supremacists that do stuff to get black folk locked up and do stuff like that. I'm asking that strong, intelligent, fair black jurors do the right thing when you're on the jury pool. That's what Vicky's suggesting. Now let's move on to something else that I want to say about the charges. Remember, it's reported that Brett Hankinson, one of the 3 officers involved, the indictment came back and they got him on 3 charges of wanton endangerment in the 1st degree. Dear family, I did a brief live yesterday on Facebook, at flyingtobequeen.com on Facebook. Immediately, I called it lesser charges that one officer was indicted on. And then I studied it and found out more. And one of the sources that I used is Dr. Richard Ritchie. Shout out to him. I want you to listen so I can show you about how white folk do war using the courts. The thing to keep in mind is that blackface white supremacist Attorney General Daniel Cameron, right? That's his name. Let me go back to my thing. Let me tell you what because I tweeted out earlier today that we still need to show respect to that traitor. Some call him a traitor. Daniel Cameron. Where is he at? We still in the middle of all this. Y'all already seen this. I've shown this to you over and over and over again, haven't I? This is one of the other ones. This is my second favorite engagement picture of him. Daniel Cameron with his fiance kissing her on the forehead. Remember some of these photos were released, while we were waiting for justice for Breonna Taylor, for a black woman. This white woman that this blackface white supremacist, this traitor to the race, that some of you all have called him, some have called him a traitor. They made him the face for getting justice for this black woman, Breonna Taylor. I believe he's about 35 now, if I haven't mistaken. He has very little to no real trial experience, which I could immediately tell that when I first saw him. But when you do some research, you'll find out what I mean. This fella was handpicked and entirely buck broken to get the position that he got in Kentucky as an attorney general. This buck broken traitor and swirler who was responsible for ensuring that our black sister gets justice, he intentionally sabotaged, in my opinion, based on information and belief, he intentionally sabotaged this case from the beginning. And throughout, pretended and gave a facade that he was waiting for this particular investigation to complete. He was waiting for that to take place. He had to wait for this and wait for that. Let me tell you very quickly about this charge, and I'm going to be done. Thumbs up, family, like and share, please. My name is Vicky Dillon, for those of you that are tuning in. I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Some of you have reached out to me privately and said that you're having withdrawals. Those are your words, not mine, because I was not here yesterday, but I know some of the other queens were holding it down, giving news on this topic as well as other topics that are pertaining to our family, the Black family. So I knew you were in good hands, but I missed you too. But make sure that you subscribe, that you hit that notification bell. Would you do that? That way you're informed of not only my content, but also other content that goes up for the other queens that are on this network as well. Make sure that you hit all notifications and that you subscribe. But you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillon, and I'm typically here 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. I used to go early more than I used to now, but the schedule is so different now because it's different folk that are in the that's on the lineup. So if there's a change or whatever, I typically like to let you know about the change on Instagram, but just stay tuned. But I'm normally here weekdays 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. So anyway, family, keep giving us a thumbs up, liking, and sharing. Back to this. Daniel Cameron, did you all see? And I really wish I could read your comments on the thing, but I'm gonna have to use my phone to pull up some other information here in a minute. Otherwise, I would just go there. But did you all see Daniel Cameron's did you all see the press conference that he gave? That Black traitor used the press conference to blame mostly two entities, one person and the grand jury. He was basically trying to put it all off on the grand jury as to why things turned out the way they turned out. And then he blamed Kenneth Walker. Did you all see that? I was so disgusted. And for those of you that don't understand, first of all, you all know that the idea of Black on Black crime is fake news. You know, white folk made that up. I've broken that down. I've given you the history behind it. We know the numbers are totally off. We also know that the average person that kills white people is white people. The average person that kills Asian people kills are Asian folk. Plus, I gave you all the history behind the certified white scholar that came up with that, and he broke down how that even came to be. But aside from that, if Black on Black crime truly existed, it exists in this case with Daniel Cameron against Breonna Taylor and Kenneth Walker. If there was ever a time, here's another one of my favorite pictures of him. And this his Karen that he's so proud of. Look at them. Look at him. Let me pull it back so you can see how long. Look at him. So look at them standing there together with their blue. She has the lighter blue and he has that navy blue and stuff on. She's got that little baby blue, darker tint on. Don't they look so gorgeous? And he's deeply melanated and she's deeply white. And folks have also talked about political ties that she has. Look at this. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this. This traitor, that traitor that I just showed you, and don't you forget it. As the Attorney General, he blamed Kenneth Walker throughout that press conference. And then he blamed the grand jury. That's a white supremacist trick. What's the first trick? I'm scared that you might have missed it. What was the first piece of warfare that the white supremacists did in the case of Breonna Taylor? Does anybody know? The first trick was putting him in charge so that this willful Sambo would be the fall guy. When you find a Black traitor that says, I am more than happy to sell out my people, to make sure that I protect white supremacist race soldiers, while the war against Black folks have reached a hot inflection point. When you find that you don't find those kinds of black-faced white supremacists just anywhere. You gotta be made up of a whole bunch of manure to qualify to do something like that. So you have this Daniel Cameron, who I can tell you, as a spiritual woman, he was approached by these white supremacists way in advance to do the bidding for white supremacy, even before the Breonna Taylor. And so he was willing to put his life on the line to sell out his own people. That's why when I tagged him on Twitter, you can do the same. Respectfully remind him that he's a traitor. He's an open traitor, family. He does it with ease, and he does it voluntarily, because there has not been backlash or rebuke or proper punishment for Black folk that sell out and disrespect us in this war. I regularly talk about your mammies because they are dangerous. They are the bridge to our murder, our oppression. They provide a pathway, an entryway for the white supremacists to slaughter us with ease. White supremacy cannot survive without our complicity. The reason why you have a Daniel Cameron in all of his Blackness able to with ease sell us out is because there has not been any backlash or punishment for disrespecting Black folk. So the first weapon that the white supremacists had in this Breonna Taylor battle was they had Daniel Cameron. That's for starters. What did I say? Because I can't read your comments. I can't see it. What did I say about it? He served voluntarily to serve the other side against us. And he served and volunteered to be what? The fall guy, the cover for them in this case. And one of the rewards that he got for selling Black folk out, for committing blasphemy through his statements, and that served as a traitor through his actions, was this unremarkable white woman. He was rewarded with sexual access. We know all brothers don't feel this way, but some brothers, enough of them, feel that they've made it when they get somebody that smells like outside to stand by their sides. This, for Daniel Cameron, feels like the acme of success. This feels like destiny. God, today. This gives him a bit of a pep in his step. So he got white sexual access. And in the mind of the white supremacists, he's a predictable Negro. They knew well that that's all he wanted. And what the white supremacist knows is they don't mind giving up their woman temporarily as a little trinket for a salivating Negro who wants white coochie. They also know that any moment when they call her back, they also know that any moment that they come to her for inside information on some other case that he's not even supposed to be talking about. But like Samson, Delilah manages to call and to pull out secret information. Wait, boy, Daniel Cameron, Daniel, you better wait, baby. The fix is in for you too. She is a strategic weapon for white supremacists. Mark my words, dear family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, beloved. Like I said, I wish I could see your comments. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. My name is Vicki Dillon. I'm a proud contributor right here on FlyNewBenQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women just like you and men. Melanated people just like you. Please, family, know that I'm here typically weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here on FlyNewBenQueenTV.com. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Please make sure that you text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. By the way, on the count of three, for those of you that haven't, let's hit the thumbs up button. If you happen to be watching us on one of our affiliate networks or channels, please like, please follow, please engage on the count of three, no matter what network you're watching us on or whatever time frame. You ready? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you so very much. Now watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I prophesy this to you, Daniel. That white woman, she's going to get some information out of you and or give you some instruction to carry out the will of the white supremacists that she hails from. And you will be exposed in due course. Mark my words. And it is my prayer that the God, that the ancestors, and that the angel of the Lord never let up on your heels, and that they participate in your undoing. I seal that thing. Now that I've done that, on to other business. I just wrote an order. God, today, I just gave a directive that will be carried out by the spirit realm. I know some of y'all don't believe that. No, Vicki didn't turn around and tell nobody to go out there and physically harm this brother. Let me clarify that. I just unleashed something in the spirit realm. I said, didn't I say the God? Didn't I say the ancestors? Didn't I say the angel of the Lord? That's a prayer in Psalm 35. I'm just praying for you, Daniel, today. Would y'all come into agreement with that prayer that I just prayed for Daniel? I feel somebody is agreeing with the prayer. We were praying for Daniel. That's what we're doing. We're praying for Daniel. That's my prayer for you, Daniel. Not physically, baby. That nobody has to do nothing. The angel of the Lord, the God, the ancestors. We just touched and agreed. Even though I can't see it in the chat, family. Can somebody please just let me feel the energy of y'all putting praying hands in the chat for me? We want Daniel Cameron to know we're praying for him. I can feel somebody laughing at me. We want Daniel Cameron to know that we're praying for him. We want them to know we believe in prayer. And Vicky just prayed. Mark my words. Now that we've done that, let's move on to other business. I just had to clarify, there was a spiritual order that I just gave so that nobody would get it confused. Y'all know I believe in crossing my T's and dotting my I's. And let me just say this disclaimer, by the way, the thoughts and opinions that are expressed by me are not necessarily those of FlyNewbieQueenTV.com or our affiliates, but they are my own. Yes, we're praying for you, Daniel. I hope y'all are putting what did I just say? The praying emojis. That we want Daniel to know we're praying for him. It's just prayer. Spiritual prayer. We believe. I just released a spiritual petition. God, today. I got favor with the courts, though. That's what I do know about myself. Got favor with the courts on stuff like this. Now, watch this. Daniel Cameron used that press conference to dog out Black people. Daniel Cameron also told other Black folk that were coming there as activists. Remember, he was talking about celebrities and stuff. Did y'all see it? He told them to basically stay out of Kentucky. This Negro done lost his mind. That little pink bedroom action that he's got access to that made him lose his little mind. He done caught something. God, today. It ain't corona, but it's something with a C. Virus. Daniel done caught another kind of C virus. And it's affecting his mind. Because that Negro got up there and told us, in other words, really to stay out of Kentucky. He blamed Kenneth Walker, the Black man who was protecting the Black woman. And then he tried to punt the decision, blame it all on the grand jury, saying, well, that was what they decided to do. Watch this. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Don't forget, we have a store at shopfnq.com. We have a store at shopfnq.com. In fact, I'm drinking out of the mug that you can get there as well. Or one of the mugs that you can get there. And don't forget to sign up also for my weekly mastermind class at clubvicky.com. Clubvicky.com. Once a week, I drop a spiritual principle and I elaborate on it. And you have access to me there where you can ask questions and I answer them there in the chat. It is absolutely amazing. It's been life-changing for those that attend. Again, that's clubvicky.com. Listen, remember, they did not bring an indictment against the other officers, right? They got them on wanton endangerment. I'm just trying to remind you all real quick of the specific charge. Yes, for Hankinson, right? According to Dr. Rashard Ritchie, who is a Black male legal expert, after I initially yesterday on Facebook, Fly Nubian Queen, did a quick little breaking news over there, after monitoring this for a couple of days, I immediately said that these were lesser charges. I immediately knew that wanton endangerment was going to be nothing. Well, Daniel Cameron blamed a lot of this, as I just mentioned before, on the grand jury. This is what the grand jury came back with. Family, first of all, this is what you need to keep in mind about Daniel Cameron. As the Attorney General, he is the one that put the charge on paper. I'm going to need y'all to take a deep breath and talk Black to me on that. Did you all hear what I just said? Daniel Cameron, as the Attorney General, is the one that put the charge on paper. Daniel Cameron is the one who researched what charges to put on paper with his staff. Somebody talk Black to me. Daniel Cameron is the one that presented that obscure charge to the grand jury. 'Cause. 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 ' Are y'all hearing me today? And welcome, welcome, welcome. Looks like I just got a message from my moderator. She said 2,400 of you all are tuning in. All right. Welcome, welcome to the Vicky Show. Thank you all so much. You're helping, our show grow more and more. I've been on the front lines of this thing for the last couple of so years on YouTube, but I've been on the front lines a long time before I was known in the circles that I am known on. And so I built this up day by day, show by show, as a one-woman show, 5 days a week, doing the best I can with the help of my medical caretaker, a family member of mine that helps to set me up so I can even do this. There are special things that I'm actually sitting on and have to be prepared for before I can even do this every single day on a laptop that was given to me. And by the grace of God, some of you have shown up 5 days a week. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing. And thank you for letting me know, Dual. Now listen. Watch this. Watch this. Daniel Cameron knows that everybody doesn't know what's going on in those grand jury proceedings. That's the reason why they also keep those grand jury proceedings secret. When I think about my own particular case, which I won't get into the specifics of that now, because you all know that, even though the God has dealt with some of the ones that are responsible for my situation, he's not done yet. I was told that by a messenger before I ever even had an indictment. He told me what was going to happen. He told me who was going to be involved. And they said, in the end, I would prevail. And I'm supposed to wait and see how it happens. Y'all don't play too much. Don't y'all know that there's a higher court? I know that they call that little funky looking court the Supreme Court of the United States, that the Brett Kavanaughs of the world sit on. And the Gorsuches sit on. Gorsuch is from Colorado. But y'all know that. Yeah, Vicky, how you know? No, don't get me to talk like that. You ain't ready for that today. Know about him from the Colorado Appeals, Federal Court of Appeals here. There's a higher court that we appeal to. Listen. But I don't want to digress and get off on that. But listen to this. He's the one that put the charges on there. His team are the ones that researched that little obscure charge to put on there to present to the grand jury. In those grand jury proceedings, family, do you all know that it's not an adversarial proceeding? Yes. See, most trials are what you call adversarial proceedings. One side is supposed to present, the other side, for example, is a prosecution or the plaintiff. The other side is what? The defense, right? So there's that supposed to be that healthy tension, in other words, that healthy tension that's supposed to take place in order to proceed concerning the things of justice. That's when they're talking about that adversarial thing. When you're dealing with an indictment, all that, they don't even need to do all that. In other words, during that proceeding, that grand jury indictment, where Daniel Cameron said it was one witness that said that they did not. But they said it's 11 others that said they did not. And according to one of the attorneys, one of the attorneys even said that the one that they got to say, the witness that they said that he heard a knock, they said he initially said he didn't. They said after a couple of other interviews, all of a sudden his testimony changed. So at first it was about 12, approximately 13 of them that said there was absolutely no knock, including the one that they said they knocked. They said at first he said it wasn't a knock, but after a couple more interviews, his testimony changed. Did Daniel Cameron bring along those other 11 witnesses that said there was no knock to the grand jury? Did that traitor do that? Listen. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Again, those of you that are just tuning in, my name is Vicky Dillard, and I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. right here on FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you. We want you to make sure that you're subscribed, that you share, that you like, that you know that I'm also not the only queen here. That's the reason why I ask that you hit that notification bell and that you subscribe. And the notification bell, hit receive all notifications. That way you're notified when the other queens are going live and when their content is going up. Thank you so very much. Listen. Watch this. The Attorney General, he's the one that put that little obscure charge of wanton endangerment on there. He and his staff, that's what they do, y'all. And have you all noticed how you see a whole bunch of white supremacists in law? They're in law because law affects everything. And they're about control, right? I'm going to hurry up here because I want to get to another point. He put those obscure charges there on the paper. He and the staff researched it. He presented that to the grand jury, right? That's what they call an indictment or a true bill, right? They weren't able to get a true bill or an indictment on the others or on other things that he could have gotten. According to the legal expert, a black male legal expert, Dr. Rashard Ritchie, that I told you about specifically on this. One of the things that I thought was so profound is that Daniel Cameron, the black traitor, could have gotten them on manslaughter based on the evidence and based on Kentucky law. He could have gotten them on manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, and the third one was reckless homicide. Statutorily, he could have done that. But he and his staff dug up that wanton endangerment. And do you all know that Breonna Taylor's name is not referenced in the true bill in the indictment, specifically related to the wanton endangerment? The wanton endangerment has to do with the recklessness of other folk possibly being endangered because the guy just came in and just started shooting, bam, 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 and the other neighbors and folk within proximity could have been murdered. This has nothing to do with Breonna Taylor. The drywall and the property got more attention than Breonna Taylor did in that indictment. He could have got him on manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, according statutorily Kentucky's laws, or the reckless homicide. The brother broke down the fact that they meet what he called disjunctive and conjunctive elements of that statute. And Daniel Cameron chose not to put that charge on paper. Are y'all hearing me? I hope you're hearing me. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing, family. The white supremacists is something else. They put the black face there, Daniel Cameron. What did I tell you before, in case you missed it? Daniel Cameron has hardly any experience, very little experience trial-wise. And for him to be the attorney general running stuff as the top cop for the whole state, let me tell you all something. They put all the white staff around him to guide that funny-looking Negro, that traitor. The other thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is that other crimes that the other officer involved in there should have been charged with. So remember, a few minutes ago, I just told you what they could have charged him based on the statutes for Kentucky statutorily, right? They could have been charged with that manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, and that reckless homicide, right? Another crime that should have happened with one of the other officers. Remember that officer who lied to the judge to obtain the warrant? Remember, he said that there were suspicious packages that was coming from the postal services, and they said that the postmaster investigated, and the postmaster federally The postmaster, that's the feds. They investigated and said, no, that's not true. What you talking about? Wasn't no suspicious packages. Postmaster, y'all play too much. He chose not to hold that other officer accountable for that crime either. In other words, let me pull this picture up because we can't forget. While I'm pulling the picture up, family, keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching us on one of our other platforms, please like, follow, and engage there as well. Watch this. This traitor. Let me find you another picture where he looks black. He's got kinky, beautiful nappy hair. He's an attractive slave. God, he's an attractive slave. Yes, he is a slave. With nappy hair and black features. Can y'all see that? My fingerprints been all over this cover on this phone. Watch this. Can y'all see that? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that slave in the office with a whole bunch of other white supremacists that's guiding this fool so that he can be the face of their dirty work. He volunteered for that position, though. He knew exactly what he was getting into. He's already got his next political career in line. Mark my words. But you mark the other words. Our prayer, we prayed together minutes ago. Mark that too. Mark that too. May not happen overnight, but it's going to happen. Watch this. Daniel Cameron failed to use his jurisdictional authority. So what did he do for that? He handed that part over to the FBI. Did you all know that he had jurisdiction to look into that? But he handed over part of the investigation to the feds. Why? Why did that slave, that traitor, Daniel Cameron do that? Daniel Cameron did that, family, because his big-headed self doesn't want to prosecute cops. Why did I say that every single one of Breonna Taylor's killers, those are responsible for her murder, directly or indirectly, as accomplices, or directly? Why did I say, in essence, every single one of them got off? The reason I say that as the expert put it, the wanton endangerment is a de facto misdemeanor. I believe I'm saying that right. Why a de facto misdemeanor? Because in Kentucky, wanton endangerment, if he's even convicted, the minimum sentence is 1 year. And that 1 year punishment can be probation. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? Every single one of Breonna Taylor's killers, everyone that's responsible for her murder, every single one of them walked, number one, because that true bill, that indictment, is not even about her. The charge, that little wanton endangerment, that ain't even about Breonna Taylor. So that's number one. And number two, to the degree that those of you say, well, who cares if her name wasn't officially in it, or if that charge had nothing to do with actually her, if they convict him on it, if they convict him, which you guys know it's very difficult to do. I was reading a Fox News article, and they were talking about, an expert in there was talking about already how difficult it's going to be to convict the guy of anything. The minimum is 1 year. and that 1 year can be probation for wanton endangerment. That's what your traitor did. That, if you want to say black on black crime exists, black on black crime exists with what you call a coon, Sambo, Bones and Biscuit, that decides to voluntarily be the face for white supremacy, to crucify their own. Daniel Cameron did just that. The other thing that should be noted here, and you guys be very clear about when you use this language, and we're so easy to say this too, concerning when they said that the officer had the right, when they said that the officer had the right to shoot because he was being shot at by Kenneth Walker. Remember, Kenneth Walker was legally armed. They did not announce themselves because we believe black people and we believe all of the witnesses. All 12 witnesses said nobody knocked. The last one that they said that they got that changed his mind after a couple of interviews. I know something about that. I know about a quote unquote chief witness in my case that initially says, oh no, this didn't happen. Oh, she's cool, she's cool, she's cool. But when somebody offers you a deal, somebody talk black to me, you change. Your initial statements started to alter. What happened to what you originally said? What happened to your original statements? Don't nobody have to tell me about that. I know that personally. You change your original statement. What you told them at first. The feds. What you told the feds. But I digress. Listen. This whole notion, and we get technical with them. I want you to always say this. I don't care what Latin language, legalese that they talk over your head. You know the spirit of the law. God, this is good. Black man and black woman, because your nature is righteousness. You've been made unrighteous by being in the world of white supremacy for 500 years. And some of you have started to take on the traits of your open enemy. And those of you that have it, because being under the weight of white supremacy, where you tend to act other than yourselves. You've been made that, but your nature is righteous. But you know the spirit of the law, even if you don't know the technical letter of it. Because your spirit, man, your nature knows it. The meaning or the intent behind having righteous principles and rules. Listen. Watch this. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Listen. Let me say this and I'm getting ready to go. I was supposed to be gone a few minutes ago because I got something else I've got to get done here in just a bit. But listen. Them saying the officer had the right to fire back. I love this because I'm giving you some technical legal stuff. That's a legal defense theory. Please put it in the chat, even though I can't read it in here. Somebody please put in the chat. Legal defense theory. Them saying that because Kenneth Walker, who was legally armed, who had police officers that came to his home that was in plain clothes, didn't announce themselves. Folks were ramming his home. He was being burglarized for all he knew. He called the police, called 911, defending his home, fired a warning shot. To protect his home and his woman. They got you thinking, well, oh, duh, that's the reason why the police shot back. No, that's theory. In other words, that has nothing to do with him complying with the statute or that being legal doctrine. Are y'all hearing me? That's a theory. Why? Because even though he may have had a reason in his mind to shoot back, he's supposed to he's supposed to put that defense up in court. That's not, you may, in your mind, you may have had a reason to violate the statute, but you're supposed to argue that in court. That's called theory. So we're not supposed to just automatically say, oh, he had the right to shoot back. No, that's theory. That's not statute. That's not statute. And that's not legal dogma. Y'all listen to me right now. Did you all also know there was a report that came out that said also that they made no effort to save Breonna Taylor's life? Oprah Winfrey hijacked a black media tactic by putting up Breonna Taylor's name on 26 billboards, even though black grassroots folk had already done that and weren't given credit for it. I talked about that before. Tamika Mallory, shout out to her, and my son and some of the other folk spent, I don't know how many days there, saying that they was demanding just to say her name and calling for whatever. But those are the same people that told us that $12 million payout that we paid for. That didn't come from the police. That's your taxpayer dollars. That was paid to her family. They also tried to make us think that that was some form of justice and that really mattered in some substantive way. Those are the same people that told us that too. I'm not here to dog out Attorney Ben Crump, but folks are sitting, I'm just saying, you showed your hand before there was an indictment. I don't want to hear nobody coming back talking about, well, normally after a criminal case, there's always a lawsuit and stuff. Yes, after slowness, after. I knew it was going to be some BS because they said when the $12 million, a part of that settlement, y'all was bragging, oh, they also got some police reforms in that $12 million settlement. Did you all hear that? Well, Kentucky police have to do some little new things that don't matter in there. I knew it was going to be some BS when y'all said, oh, police reforms. They got some police reforms in the settlement. You all justify that. Sonny Hostin, I was looking at a tweet earlier today that Sonny Hostin responded to Tariq Nasheed on Twitter earlier today, and I responded to Sonny. And it ain't my first time responding to Sonny because I be getting in her butt as well as The View all the time for their ignorance. Sonny Hostin's supposed to be this intelligent attorney, and she was a former prosecutor herself, and she is always saying lies about Minister Farrakhan too, along with Lane Bryant, Meghan McCain, the race soldier, John McCain's reckless, wild, false prophet voice, Meghan McCain, that's on, The View, who's just horrible and just terrible and crazy in more ways than we can explain. Her funny looking self said something to the effect that talking about how some settlements, like back in the day, is what helped to shut down certain white supremacist organizations. Fool, when the last time that happened? In how many cases, Sonny? You're supposed to be such an intelligent attorney, but you're supposed to be dealing with relevant and recent cases. And the one or two cases that she's talking about was back in the day, and it ain't even worth mentioning. If those settlements were so effective, why do we keep seeing so many black murders? And why is it that Attorney Ben Crump and the rest of them like him are still negotiating these financial settlements if they're so effective, Sonny? Somebody talk black to me. Sonny Hostin was out there sitting there talking about the effectiveness of these civil suits. If they're so effective, why are there so many of them? Not many, many of them. Sonny, make it make sense. It can't make too much sense, Sonny, because your butt was a prosecutor. I don't have too much to say about you because you ain't known as being no anti-black prosecutor. Anti-racist prosecutor. makes sense. Sonny proves that she's a lawyer right there because they use these tricks to throw off people who don't know about how they trick you using legalese. I got to get ready to go, family. My solution is separation. Make your own neighborhoods safe and decent places to live. Policing your own communities. Unifying with other Black people. And being your own economic base with businesses and so forth. Why do I keep emphasizing unity? The reason it's important that we unify amongst ourselves, Black family, that doesn't mean we agree with every single thing. But when we come together in war, there are solutions and powers that you cannot know on your own. Our collective wisdom, our collective power will cause us to win. I gave you several different points during today's broadcast. Please watch the whole show if you're just coming in, because I'll drop some important information related to any possible jurors that may try to prosecute our brother that they claim shot these two officers. We have no comment on none of that. It's too soon. It's too early. We don't have enough facts. We're not going to even say we condemn violence on both sides. We don't know that there was violence on both sides. We can't even say that. We can for sure say it's violence with these white supremacist law enforcement. But y'all lie too much. There's too much going on. We don't know. We don't have all the facts in to even say condemning violence on both sides. So, family, you shut up on that. Meanwhile, we are supporting the Black brother who they allege shot two officers because we believe in what America says in this jurisprudence, that you were presumed innocent. So we're treating our brother as if he's innocent. And if possible, with bail, to pay and pray. And if the case with our brother continues, we want to keep a lookout on the jurisdiction, the area, the county where the possible trial may take place, so that we can educate fair-minded Black jurors so that they can know and understand that it only takes one righteous Black juror to get a hung jury. Talk Black to me. Stay tuned in for more this week. We're at the end of the week. I had planned on having so many other topics, but I missed yesterday's show with you yesterday, and with the breaking news of Breonna Taylor, the failure for them to get an indictment, a true bill against these race soldiers. Don't let anybody even talk about as if this indictment is even a real indictment. Make sure you let them know every single one of them have walked. And if the one, Hankinson, gets convicted, which is a likely chance that he won't, even if he gets convicted, the minimum sentence is 1 year, and that 1 year can be probation. Daniel Cameron, we've prayed for you. Somebody tell Daniel Cameron, we prayed for him today. A global prayer of thousands, and perhaps later tens of thousands more, have come into agreement. We've asked God's intervention in your life, brother. Vicky has not called for violence. She hasn't told anybody to pick up anything against you. In fact, I'm making it clear not to do that. Right, family? Vicky believes in crossing her T's and dotting her I's, but we've prayed for you. I've prayed for you. Let Daniel know I've prayed for him. The ancestors are hovering about it. Angels and stuff. They got you. Because we need justice. And some of you, bones and biscuits, some of y'all need to see God manifest in a different kind of way. You feel what I'm saying? He takes your rehabilitation further. He can be God today. I love y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Vicky X Dillard. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you same time, same place tomorrow, inshallah. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here on FlyNewBigQueenTV.com. Don't miss any of the Vicky shows because they're all important to this transition of the new world. Don't forget it's difficult. Don't forget it's painful. I know it's labor. I know it's Black bloodshed, but Black family, the news for us is that these are labor pains, and we're about to see the end of white supremacy. I did want to say one more thing. I apologize. Can y'all give me 2 more minutes? I was for real finna go. I was for real finna go. Can y'all give me 2 more minutes? Can y'all give me 2 more minutes? Whoever can stay. If y'all can't stay, I understand, because I know I've said I was getting ready to go. But I pulled up something earlier today. And y'all know I constantly quote Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, because I don't want you to miss the central reason why the white supremacist is at war with us. I know Yvette Carnell, the hashtag founder of ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves. Again, the hashtag co-founder. And Dr. Mark Lamont Hill and other of your little black little people running around had disrespected Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's legacy. They said some very ugly things about our dear sister, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. When she died, that's what's so interesting. These weren't people that said something because they disagreed with her ideology when she was alive. They said this in her death. Upon announcement of Dr. Frances Cress Welsing dying, you had your bones and biscuits like them say stuff like this to disrespect Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Now, for those of you that it bothers you that I'm saying this, that's too bad. I'm about the truth. And I'm about letting you know who's on what side in war. And because you suck on the breast of foolishness, that's you that better wean off of that. The quality of the information you get determines if you're a coward or not. It lets me know your makeup as a woman or a man, or a boy or a girl. But our intelligent Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she reminded us of why this war is going on. And why is that? She made it very clear. Her book, The ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors. Get the book. I just told you the name. Hopefully the moderators can put this in the chat. The ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors. The Keys to the Colors. Very important book. She let us know that the white men, this is from a physician. She was a psychiatrist, an intelligent black woman that used her experience and the knowledge that she gained in academia to come to the righteous and very prophetic and accurate conclusion that white men compensate genetic deficiencies. This is what the expert said, the black expert, that white men compensate genetic deficiencies and sexual insecurities with big, long black guns. God, I want to see your response. Try to pull up y'all. I want to see y'all's responses. Y'all know I talk about this all the time, but I have to keep reminding you of that because you need to know what's amplifying and what's motivating this war by these white supremacists. Don't forget that. Dr. Frances, the name of her book is The ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors. You must not forget what's the motivation, what's escalating this war. What did Dr. Frances Welsing tell us many decades before? Through her expertise and intelligence and experience, what did she tell us? White men compensate their genetic deficiencies and sexual insecurities with big, long black guns. Now, who admitted half of this after I broke down this old, decrepit Karen by the name of Jane Elliott that T.I. and Killer Mike and Roland is in love with? How many of y'all saw that clip when I broke all that down? Remember white Jane Elliott, who some of you funny looking bones and biscuits give seats at the table and invite her to all the barbecues? She admitted that white genetic annihilation was the problem, but she didn't want black folk to actually use that language. That's when the black guest that she was doing this particular podcast with had to break it down for her, because she was telling them, quit using those words and all that and telling us what to do to speak to white folks so that they'll stop killing us, to let white folks know that they're getting ready to die off. White Jane Elliott all but admitted that in that interview. Listen. But we didn't need no white woman to co-sign. We the mothers and fathers of civilization. We rely heavily on black scholarship. Whose world is this? Every other world took their cues from us. Somebody talk black to me. Thumbs up, family, like and share. In a couple more minutes, I told you. Give me a minute. If you got to go, I understand. She told us that white men compensate genetic deficiencies and sexual insecurities with big, long black guns. Shout out to Jason Williams, is where I got this particular picture from. Look at this picture of this particular gun. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You've seen too many pictures of white folks because they mad they have to wear masks. Remember, they showed up to Capitals with AK-47s and all them other big old military weapons. Look at this big old long black gun that this white man got on right there. Y'all see it? Look at that. Look at the gun. Keep that image in your mind, family. Keep that image in your mind, right?
I thought I had an eraser. Oh, here it is.
You're listening now to the voice of Dr. Frances Cress Welsing in her own words break down this prophetic and accurate insight.
Because I'm giving this with a little humor, but all of this is serious. All of this is very, very serious, because we're talking about what exactly is the nature of the war that is being waged against us that we haven't understood clearly to date, but we are moving on understanding. If we understand the importance of the male genitalia, black male genitalia, as being viewed as that which can cause white genetic annihilation, we will understand the importance of the gun. Police officers. If we look at the front view of male genitalia, it looks like this. The lateral view looks like this. Just think about the lateral view for people who are far away. If you turn that around 90 degrees, what do you have? A gun. A gun. Guns are the most important thing in the white supremacy system and culture. Because
what did she say? What did she say? This is the element that we're seeing in almost every single one of these cases. It's being amplified.
My brain computer says he has weapon, can annihilate me. Most important thing in the white supremacy system and culture. Because the white brain computer says he has weapon, can annihilate me. Must create weapon, can do same thing. You see? In other words, the white genetic material is recessive. It cannot cause black genetic annihilation. But the white brain computer came up with gun, can make gun. And what do they call the gun?
Listen.
The great equalizer. See, these terms are not idle expressions. We treat them as idle expressions, but they come from the subconscious, because the problem, the fear of white genetic annihilation is not talked about overtly. In other words, you don't hear big discussions on TV, we are genetic recessive and we're afraid of white genetic annihilation. You don't hear that being discussed. You just hear everybody needs a gun. 200 million guns in the hands of people in this area of the world, and they're not just in the hands, or mostly in the hands, of people who are classified as black or otherwise non-white. So the great equalizer. And from that awareness comes the term justifiable homicide.
Listen.
Justifiable homicide, somebody might say, well, the definition of that is when you have to shoot somebody. The term comes from people who are in uniform in the white supremacy system and culture, who classify themselves as white, who see a black man and say, I thought he had a weapon. He does.
My God. Talk black, Dr. Francis.
That's where that statement comes from, at the subconscious level.
At the subconscious level.
I thought he had a weapon. And then they will say, I thought he had a knife. Or I thought he had a gun. But it comes from the deeper subconscious fear.
The deeper subconscious fear.
Of genetic annihilation. There's no history, as far as I know, of black males in uniform killing white men and saying, I thought he had a weapon.
Woo! Y'all better talk black to me.
Now, maybe that's because they see better.
Watch this.
I don't think so. It's just that the same fear is not in the minds of black gentlemen.
Come on now.
It is a fear that is resident in this particular power system and structure.
My God. Tell me Dr. Francis wasn't talking black. Don't you ever forget it. To be continued, family. Thank you so much, those of you that were able to hang out with me for the next little bit. I know I said I was getting ready to go, but I wanted to end it by listening to someone that's much wiser than me on that topic, in her own words, as a physician, as an expert, letting you know what's happening on the subconscious level and what's behind this white supremacist war. We need to keep unifying, making sure that we're making our own neighborhoods safe and decent places to live, and building our own reality of a new world, and also making sure that these white supremacists and the killers of black folk are being properly punished. More to come, family. Thank you so much again. My name is Vicki Dillard. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard, and follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicki. I came to you in peace. I leave you in peace.